Hello, everybody. Welcome back to RaBBois. I'm Speed. Joined here with our brother Yitz. Stop
We are
smiling.
not RaBBois. I don't have the sign's gone. The sign's gone.
There's no sign. Why is there no sign? And like, where's the sign?
Well, because I keep changing my setup, and I used to be, I guess, in that part of the room.
Okay.
And now I switched it, and I actually set up the office, so now I have an official setup. But
that's
no
not
sign.
an office. You're not in an office.
I'm in an office.
That's
This
not
is my
an
office.
That's a little empty, dusty room that you inherited. But yeah, the holiday of Shavuos is coming up, which we talked about on the last episode. But I decided last minute, because I was feeling a little goofy and silly, that I was.
Oh, you're so goofy.
I'm so goofy. That I'm gonna head back home, back up. I'm used to saying down, like on the country, but back up to Ohio to visit my dear family, who I love so much, and I love spending time with you guys.
Which is why you didn't come originally.
Which is why no.
You know what?
What?
Why don't we just be honest? First of all, you were homesick. I heard you were crying to our mother for hours. You want to come home.
Yeah.
That was one. That's
one.
And
B,
B,
what's B?
the real reason is because you had no meals.
Huh? Well, no, that's not true at all.
You were so hungry, you figured you just
It's not true.
back home with your tail between your legs.
No.
And I had to invite you. Now you have to eat at my house. I have to make more food for you.
Propaganda. First off, I'm your brother, and you will host your brother. Damn it, it's propaganda. First off, all that are lies. I love living here. It just happens to be that I guess what basically happened was I was here for Shabbos, and I had like kind of a more crappier Shabbos, and then I was like, do I want to do this for 2 days during the week? And then I have to like figure out where I'm gonna eat because I'm single in Miami. Like I have to like find my meals. So I was like, not really. And like all the families come and go, going to Ohio. So like I'm like, maybe I should just go. So I brought it up to our dear parents, and I'm gonna be coming home. Yay! So exciting! I'm so happy to be going home. It's gonna be amazing. Yet your eyes are closed. Oh my God! Are we back?
You were talking about. Yeah, you could talk about.
No, I know what I was talking about. No, you're the one that left. I know what I was talking about. Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
It's very rude. Apologize to our listeners right now.
I have crappy internet, and so you can shame my internet.
I love the quality difference, by the way, of like what's just over. I think it adds to the vibe that I carry the show and make sure it's amazing, and you happen to be here, and that's great. That's great, and
that's nice.
And I'm gonna happen.
I'm half the talent, by the way.
You're half of something. That's for sure.
Continue. Explain why you're coming home. It could be already explained. I didn't hear a word.
Your eyes were literally, it froze on your eyes being closed. Like your eyes were closed for like 15 seconds. And I was like, it'll fix itself. Usually it fixes itself in like 5 seconds, but it didn't. And I was concerned. And I was like, he's about to disconnect.
It connected to a network that had no internet.
Wow,
I didn't realize that.
Fascinating story. Well, I'll repeat to you again while I'm going home. You did not hear anything? Okay, I'll say.
It's not about you being a crybaby. No, that's it.
In 5 seconds, that's crazy. That's funny. In 5 seconds of why I'm going home, because I was here Shabbos and it was boring, and I didn't want to do that for essentially 2 days during the week. And while at the same time mooching off of other people's meals because I'm single in Miami and have to get meals and stuff. So I dialed up our dear, lovely parents, and if I want to visit. I love my family so much, and I'm gonna be eating at one of the meals. So that's gonna be great. Can't wait to see you. That's gonna be.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Very exciting.
Well, that's why we're doing the podcast now, because
that was the whole explanation.
Sorry,
the purpose. What?
Yeah, we're doing the podcast now because the holiday is Thursday when we usually record. So we figured either, like, when are we gonna do it? We could do it after. But
I realized, by the way, that we could have done like an in-person thing, maybe.
I was thinking that too.
Like on the phone, but then I realized the last one was kind of crappy. The one we did during the solar eclipse. I mean, it was the greatest podcast ever. It's so great. I had so much fun. But okay, there's a point I wanted to get. You know what? I'm gonna quick segue. Yeah, that's how you do it, right? Yeah. So I'm just gonna say it like that because that's how you would do it. I want to segue to an actual talking point of this podcast, which is basically I wanted to speak about Yeshiva, which is Jewish high school, and are you freezing intentionally? I can't tell.
No, I'm not.
Okay. You're just so still. You looked really just bored at what I was about to say.
No, this is how we are. You know, our family. We just like completely. We could stay extremely still. It's because our grandparents, they were so crazy about being quiet. We have this trauma where we could walk through a house and you will not know we're there. It's crazy.
You know what I realized? What?
Our father could literally walk up and down stairs and you'll have no idea.
You know something interesting that I realized? I accidentally got good at working out silently. I realized that, like, when I go to the gym, because we have a gym in this place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I go there sometimes. Well, I go there every day.
It's costing you a fortune.
Huh?
It's be costing you a fortune.
No, actually, I have fairly good deal for circumstances giving. Okay. Point is, there's a gym. And I realized that, like, I work out intentionally, but I'm actually, like, relatively quiet compared to, like, these other schmoes there that are moaning aggressively for no reason. No, like, it was an issue. I was like, you're, like, no offense, you're not doing all that. Like they're not doing anything too crazy. Like, you don't deserve to be moaning like that. Like, it bothered me. And I realized maybe it had to do with my upbringing. Like, maybe I was trained into this art of, like, being silent, and it worked its way into working out. Maybe.
Okay, sorry.
Just that you brought it up. I just thought it was.
I got distracted. What do you want to talk about high school? What do you want to talk about?
We're going to call it. Yeah, I want to talk about Yeshiva, aka Jewish High School, and we're going to call it Yeshiva this entire time, and maybe forever, just so that I don't have to keep on clarifying it. We're just going to be calling it Yeshiva for clarification. What I mainly want to talk about is, well, first off, in general, when you talk about Yeshiva, like, whenever I see other podcasts talking about Yeshiva, there's always. I thought you froze again. You're being incredibly still.
No, I'll let you know if I freeze.
No, you look. Are you bored? Am I really that boring? No,
I don't know. You only have like 130,000 subs.
Huh? Hey, 40,000. You watch your. Yeah, you're lacking. Okay. I'm
listening. What do you want me to do like the whole time? You want me to do this?
I wanted to be like an aggressive sports news reporter. Like I want to be like freaking. We're on First Take, Stephen A. Smith. I want you to nod your head aggressively and agree with my takes. That's what I want. Thank you. Yes,
fine.
That's what you're gonna do. So I noticed that majority of Jewish podcasts, they're always. I can't do it. Okay.
I knew it last.
I'm getting to this point. Majority of Jewish podcasts, when they talk about Yeshiva, they always have like it's always a negative connotation. It's always like. Very just, they're critiquing it. And, there's valid points where they could critique the system, the education system. But what I've noticed, like, for us specifically, is we have, like, a more positive experience, I would think, maybe.
We do.
Of the Yeshiva system.
I think that people go into Yeshiva with the wrong mindset. And therefore, when they come out, they're all negative towards it. And whenever I talk to people about why they did not like Yeshiva, they say, well, this and that is too controlling, there's too many people on top of me. I say, are all your friends from there? Like, didn't you like learn X, Y, and Z? Didn't you like become this type of person because of it? And if you were like home, not doing that, you'd be like kind of like completely different. And you wouldn't have the same friend group.
Home for a year. That'd be pretty weird.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that'd be so weird.
No, if you dropped out, because we actually go from Yeshiva. Yeshiva goes into college years. It's not just talking about high school. It goes into college years. They have a different name for it. It's called Zal or Beis
I was actually mainly talking about like high school years, but
yeah,
I mean,
but it kind of bleeds into it. And every person complains and a whole rant about it. I say, well, aren't all your friends you're ranting to from that place? And didn't you have like all these great times there? And they go, yeah. I'm like, didn't you learn a lot? Yeah. Aren't you like a way more structured person because of it? Yeah. It's like, so why are you telling me that it was the worst thing that ever happened to you? Like, people just are so.
I don't think it's the worst thing that ever happened to people. That's probably more of that there's a controlling, judgmental, like competition aspect of it, where you can only be, where you have to meet a certain standard, and if not, then you're not necessarily shunned, but you're judged.
It makes it you're you're judged by the teachers. It just makes it harder
By the
to go through it.
teachers. Yeah.
Okay, but it makes it go hard. First of all, it's not true. I think a lot of teachers don't judge. They just really, really feel that you have to be doing X, Y, and Z. They're like really passionate about it. They feel like no, like this is the right thing to do, and then it comes out across as do it or you're a terrible person. But I don't think they necessarily mean that. All the teachers I met, they just really. There's a few who are not like that, but I feel like a lot of them genuinely want the best for you, and they say, "What do you mean? Doing what you're supposed to do is the best thing for you," and they believe that, but it gets carried away. I think they take it to the extreme.
You know what sucks about yeshiva though, and what I've noticed, and I think it's specifically in Chabad yeshivas that it sucks the most. It's the freaking absolutely non-edible, terrible, disgusting food that they serve us 3 times a day. And I've noticed, by the way, because there are other yeshivas, non-Chabad, there's thousands of yeshivas. And I saw this guy, like this one school, they had they were vlogging their school or something. And I saw their lunch, and they were having like Chinese, like proper Chinese that they made. And I'm like, what? Like in the Chabad yeshiva system, there's no concept of good food. Do you have like a terrible meal that you had in yeshiva that like stands out in your head?
The only one that did was hamburgers, but before everyone says hamburgers, that sounds great. I don't know what they put in them. I don't know. But every time I had it, I would literally be in my bed for an hour. I had it twice. I said, I can't. And I'm not a weirdo, like, oh, it hurts my stomach. Like,
we have strong enzymes.
We have very strong stomach.
Yeah.
And I would go out and eat burgers at the restaurants. This is in New York. And I'd be like, hey, listen, this time I'm going to have it, I'll be fine. Like, I'm going to have it, I'll be fine. Like, I'm not a baby. Like, I can eat food. I don't have these issues. Like, I can eat food. Every time I had it, without question, I was in my bed. I couldn't move. Like, I don't know, food poisoning, I don't know what it was, for like an hour. That was like the worst.
You know what I had that with?
I couldn't eat it. It was like basically, certain days you'd be like, there's no food today. Like, if I don't make my own food, there's no food today. That's what was hard sometimes.
Hard. You were paying for food.
And this is us complaining.
No,
we would complain. Yes, we would tell them it is terrible. But the problem is, a lot of people didn't mind it, and it's so hard for them to switch it, and it's so hard for them to tell the chefs to switch it because they're so like rigid about what they do.
That's all it is. They don't. They're stupid. They're all stupid, all of them. No, that's the reason the food's not good, and they're lazy. That's the only reason that the food's not good.
They don't hire good chefs.
They choose to not hire good chefs because it's cheaper. I remember there was our chef in the first 3 years of yeshiva. It was, I mean, there's so many stories with this guy. But I was best friends with that guy. I don't know why I was best friends with the chef, but he was a cool guy, and he made like this. I didn't know what type of. It was like a meat soup, and we just called it mystery soup because we didn't really know what it was, and we all tried eating it, and it wasn't edible, so we pretend to like use it as throw up, and like we scared some of the teachers with it. And then there's this other time where they ran out of tomato sauce for like spaghetti and meatballs. So like the chef, he's like, yeah, we ran out of sauce, so I cut up tomatoes and I put it in the meat, and it's just like tomatoes and meat. And he's like, that's the sauce, and I'm like, that's not sauce. Like that's a sad excuse for sauce. He literally just cut tomatoes and put it. It's like, I made the sauce because we ran out of sauce. I'm like, you didn't make a sauce.
It's so hard because they try to fix the food. First of all, it's not every yeshiva. It's only the ones that I guess we went to. I went to yeshiva.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
My main yeshiva that I went to, which was basically college, they had good food. I personally really liked that food. It was the only place I did. But I went to 3 other places, and yeah, they're pretty pathetic. And I was a little bit like, come on, like. Well,
you went to like the most mainstream for like they had edible foods. But the majority of yeshivas, whether it's the first 3 years,
they have very little. They don't necessarily get government funding, which most high schools do in the country. So it's hard to the less established ones, like the smaller ones. We're talking about like 30 kids sometimes. So like they don't have as much money to like just buy.
That's not the reason. No, it's not. That's not the
Yes,
reason.
it is.
No, it's
That's
not.
what they kept telling me. Like, we don't have the money. I'm like,
I've been to government funded with terrible food. It's laziness, and that's all it is. Because I've seen it happen. I've seen the prophecies. I've seen it casted in the skies. Where
there is bad
eating
food.
good food, and
It
they
is
didn't
laziness.
take much.
There is some laziness.
It's a
But I
waste.
think-
I've seen them waste food. I've seen them make like, oh, thank you for more of this shit. You know, like, thank you for this. It's disgusting. And like, I saw them take good ingredients and make.
Yes,
slop.
I hated that. It's
They're
like,
yeah.
like, I'm gonna make meatballs tonight. It's like, great. Can you take the meat and put it in a circle and then put it in the sauce? Can you just do that for me?
Yeah,
Take the
no.
meat, put it in a circle, put it in the sauce. Don't do any. Don't mix anything in it.
Look at
Don't.
these 20 fresh tomatoes that are in our fridge. Beautiful tomatoes. We should cut them up and put it in the meat and call it tomato sauce.
I don't know. They
I
put
don't
like, it's like, I don't know. They like random stuff in the meatballs. It's like why
Weird
okay,
spices, like
weird
weird
spices.
thick little things.
It's like, why do you
Meatballs should just be
grind up?
balls of meat, right? It should just
Why
be
do you put
balls of meat.
cabbage in it? It's like, why is there cabbage in my meatball?
I don't mind that, but it'd probably literally be like a full leaf of cabbage. Like that's what it'd probably look like if they made it. I remember the chef we had, he was like a crazy yapper. All he did, like he'd tell us these stories. He said like he went to jail or whatever. Yeah, for some reasons, Yeshiva loves hiring chefs that are allegedly ex-convicts or something.
Unless I'm mistaken, I think you get like something. I think you get like I don't know, like a government like
You give them government stuff so that they can
either
waste it.
taxes or something you do get some benefit. I think something to it.
Well, I mean, I got him in every yeshiva I went to. They had these guys, but one of them, there was this guy, and he'd always just say stories about like, you know, he's from the hood or whatever, and he just like make stuff up, or like we couldn't tell if he was making stuff up. He said he was about to like shoot this guy, but then lightning struck, and it was the Lord speaking to him, so he didn't shoot the guy. And then there's another time where one of the students had a fight with like the other student, right? And they had to fight like, I know. So here, okay, I gotta give some context for this. So, this is so weird when you say it out loud, but it'll be fun to explain, right? Every morning, it's like this in every Chabad yeshiva. Every morning, before your first class of the day, you have mizonos, right? Which is snack time, essentially, before we pray, because it's very early in the morning.
Have a little bit of food because it's like a half a breakfast. It's like a small breakfast.
And it essentially just became having like cake in the morning, which makes no sense for that to be the snack. And it'd give you stomach aches every time because you should be having cake in the morning.
But
it's also how I gained all that weight because I was eating so much cake, and it made no sense. Like, and it was freshly made cakes, and the chef's job was to make it every morning, to make these cakes and put it out. It was just for 10 minutes.
I think they should really make more than one cake. So
no, they did it.
I think they do it on purpose. I think it's part of the fun. Where it's like, will you get a piece? Won't you get a piece?
Well, listen here, Unc. Right, since your days, we've upgraded. We do get 2. Sometimes we get 3. And I remember, like, when there wasn't enough, he'd add flour to the pre-made cake mix and ruin it. I remember one time he put salt instead of sugar. One time that was a fun surprise. Salt. Yeah, he messed that. Like you know, not necessarily not the sharpest tool in the shed per se. Point is, it was his job to make it. Half the times he just wouldn't make it, like he just forgot, or like he'd sleep in. It was so all over the place. Point is, it was Mizones, and he was coming out with the cakes, and I remember this one time he was coming out with the cakes, and everyone was so hungry they literally were taking pieces off of the pan before he even put on the table, because these guys are freaking animals, and it was burning hot fresh out of the oven. So 5 guys burned their hands from the pan because they cannot wait 2 seconds. Unrelated. It was Mizonos, and there are 2 kids, and they got into an altercation.
Mizonos means cake, just in case you don't understand that. Mizonos means cake.
Mizonos is a food group.
It's a food group.
In this context, it means just cake as a snack. And
it means technically means anything that has like, it's hard to explain.
Grains,
it's like
flour. I mean,
cracker. It's like crackers and cakes and cookies and pretzels.
Sort of. Yeah. Okay. Sure. But there are two kids, and they got into like some fight, right?
Over
when
cake.
like, right when the cake's coming out, and I'm hungry as hell, my fat ass, waiting for that shit to come out, and like, but the guy he has food is like, I'm not bringing this out to let people stop fighting, and I'm like, stop fighting! Freaking hungry. We're all hungry, and it's only 10 minutes long. So what?
The yeshiva is raised in a way where it's like you cannot back down from a fight. This is how it works. No, you don't be like, okay, let's stop fighting for the greater good. It's like, no, we're gonna settle this.
Yeah.
We're gonna settle this before the cake comes out.
There was one time in Mazonis where there was a different fight. They got a fight. A kid got a black eye. Freaking just got sucker punched in the face. That was unrelated though. Point is, these kids got in a fight, and then the fight moved into the kitchen, where that's his territory, right? Which I got backstage access throughout nothing happened. It was just, we were buddies, Point is, once they got in the fight, the cake tray like flipped and like fell on the floor, and then the chef got pissed. But he sees the guys fighting, so he has to like separate the guys, and he puts one of the kids in like a headlock allegedly, and then it's like, yo, what's going on? And freaking chef puts the kid in a headlock to like protect him, which he was. It was the right thing to do in the context. But then the teachers come and they see the chef putting him in a headlock, and then they start yelling at him, but he was in the right situation. And the moral of the story was I didn't get my stupid cake, and I was pissed. I mean,
did he get fired?
No. Because they needed him. They needed him. But he wasn't that bad. He was, he's great. He's a little bipolar, a little schizo. Definitely. Like, sometimes he's like, I'm not making cake anymore, I quit. And then the next day he's like, I made 10 cakes and I added salt to all of them, And we're like, yay, thank you for that. And the janitors there also, they were like, these guys were messed up, some of these.
Sometimes the janitors are the chefs.
The janitors were the chefs. I remember we had this one dude named Carlos. He was the janitor, the chef, and he was also a DJ on the side. So
no way.
You're able to do everything. Then there's this other guy, I forgot what his name was. He was cracked out of his mind. He was like 6'7", He's like, I could have made it to the NBA. I'm not even kidding. Like, I could have made it, but went down the wrong path. And I'm like, now you're making cakes for us, and that's a great thing, to feed the next generation, the youth. Very inspiring.
Okay, so now that we shat on our frustrations with the system, now let's talk about the good stuff.
Oh, good, yeah. Well, we didn't even talk about any of the learning stuff or any rules. We just talked about cake.
Because that's all we care. See,
Yeah,
that's the mindset you're in. That's the only thing you remember.
I'd fall asleep every class in the morning. No one would be awake for that stuff. Why does
it's so classic. It's like all we care about is cake. We went through the years of our life. We just cared about the cake. We can only think about the cake.
I want to complain about one more thing though. The first class is like what time?
7:30.
7:40 a.m. That's the first class before praying. Which it's very inspirational, holy class. It's very Kabbalistic, and that's great. It was inspiring. But the other half,
you're dead tired.
Yeah,
and you're like, right, think about why the world was created. And you're like, bro, it's 7:40.
And they won't let you eat your cake in class.
Oh yes, there's always
is only 10 minutes
always
long.
The fat kid. I know we give fat kids hard times, but there's always a fat kid who's making cake under the table. There is, right?
We have
Every
this
class.
thing. No, you're right. Every single year of Yeshiva, it doesn't matter where in the world, there's always a staple of 5 different kids. One of them is the fat kid, and I mean fat, obese. I was fat, but I wasn't like these kids. These kids were on another level. No diabetes, roll away, right? Family Guy, like full on round, like peanut looking type of character. Like it's really bad. That's what
a lot of them lose weight, by the way.
A lot do.
Yeshiva makes you lose weight. By the end, everyone's like fit.
Not me, because all I had was cake and just lots of cake. And when there's no other food, you just eat all the cake.
Hey, that's one staple.
Yeah, but
what's the second one?
That's one staple. The reason that happens, by the way, is because oh my gosh, if we grew up in a community where there's kosher food everywhere because those kids are from Brooklyn, man, oh my gosh, I'd be diabeto. Like I'd be that kid. But yeah, so that's one staple. The extremely fat kid every year, and then he goes through puberty and he becomes massive machine. Huge, unhealthy. You get tired looking at him. You're sweating just by looking at him. It's so much sweat. It's really bad. It's very unhealthy.
They should become offensive linemen, man.
No, but yeah, right? Like the Bengals need an O-line. Like he sits down and he's like, oh, it's actually very sad. Anyways, that's the first guy, right? And the other guy is like the really tall, skinny.
Who has a mustache, but he's
who
like
has
12.
a mustache and they're 12, right? It's always a tall guy.
Like, where are you from?
Like, are you sure? Like, you're a part of our like tribe? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Very tall, skinny guys. Then there's the ultra short. Looks like he's 8. And he's there. Like, he's literally 4'10",
and always high pitched voice.
He's like, what do you mean? I'm 30. He's like, what do you mean? I'm 17. And then like the other kid is like, what do you mean? I'm 11. Like the ones that went through puberty, like way too whatever. And then there's like just the loud character, and there's a bunch of them. But you know what I mean? There's always that one that. Like the group leader, you could call them.
He sits in the center in our study hall, and like everyone sits on tables around him. You know what I'm saying? They're like half on chairs, they're half on tables, like listening to him say a dumb joke, and everyone does the classic like what's it, like the cool, like when the cool kid like oh, it's so funny,
something,
man.
Yeah, that, and they have like the very like naggy voice, and they're usually a good guy though. I mean, depending on the situation, it depends on the year. The ones I had were more good guys because we had pretty good chemistry. But when when you were younger, they were probably pieces of crap.
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
no, they were.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry I went through that. But those are.
No, I didn't care. It didn't bother me. They weren't like.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. Yeah, I didn't care either.
I don't engage.
But so those all. Did I get all the
5.
staples?
You need one more.
5. I feel like we just said that number.
No. I think the last one is.
Probably a weirdo.
Character-wise, the super religious guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So religious that like they're like, I'm not even.
They like sit like this, and they're like, I don't like anything worldly. I want to be in pain all day because God will reward me. It's like, bro, you gotta relax.
I'm not even like kidding, and like I'm not trying to be like this will come off as anti-Semitic, but like they're like sort of like rats, and I don't mean it in like
oh my God.
No, I don't mean it like that. I mean it in like I'm not kidding. It's the way like their arms are like this, and it's not because they're like on the spectrum.
They can really fold their legs up. I can't do that, right? They can put their legs.
They're like always in weird positions, and they're squirming around. And
they sit. No, I know how they sit sideways on the chair, and they can bring their knees up, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and then, like this and stuff, and they always
go. Funny.
And they always. The reason I call them the rats, and it's no offense.
They wear white socks and they have the same shoes.
And they got little mustache whiskers.
That's
and
right.
They always collect the crumbs after Mazonis is over.
Because they're not going to fight for the cake.
They would never fight for the cake.
It's too pleasurable. Cake is too pleasurable.
Too much pleasure.
So they're
holy.
They're going to scrape the burnt edges, and that's what I'll eat to live.
Every single day, this kid would come. The Mazonis was only 10 minutes long. Then he had to go to class. But it would go quick. So everyone's waiting to get dismissed to jump to the Mazonos. But that kid, he'd wait there patiently. He wouldn't do anything, right? And he'd come like 10 minutes later. There's one kid, he came with like a plastic knife, and he'd scrape it. He'd scrape all the bits. It was just oil crumbs. Just oil crumbs onto the thing.
By the way, those kids, not to be a hater, they usually have a lot of anger. You ever seen them? Yeah, if you poke them.
One of those kids was the kid that got in the fight. I just realized that. Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm saying, no, because they're really oh, it's called bittul. It's when you try to make yourself like, it's a concept where you try to make yourself like very humble, but sometimes
with God, godliness.
So the real way is that you're so humble that like everything is just like you view everything in the world like in a very godly way, but people try to mimic it, and all it does is suppress all their emotions until one day someone
One day,
hits them in the back when they're
someone
walking
takes
back,
their
and they go,
cake.
"What the hell, man?" And they're like, "Whoa!" Like it's like
yeah, it comes out of nowhere. It's essentially, to be honest, these characters exist in regular high schools. It's just like exaggerated, right? Right, that weird like the ultra orthodox kid is just like the quiet kid in another school. Like that's what he is. The fat kid's there, the tall, like it's the same things. It's just funnier because I don't know.
I think
Jewish
it's
stuff.
funny for us because we came from a small town,
True.
small Jewish town, and then it's like you have all these big city kids come. We're like, whoa.
We were
There's a lot
so just average. I think
We had 5 kids in our class. There wasn't enough people to have characters in our like middle school class.
Oh, in middle school. Now I'm talking about like when you're in yeshiva. Like we were just, maybe I am a character honestly, but
a little bit.
No, I feel like
You're
I'm
the loud
more
guy.
now though. What?
You're the loud guy.
I became the loud guy. I think I broke out of my shell. Actually, I guess I was always loud, but when you're competing with these other kids from like New York, they're just so much louder than you. Like it's just not. Yeah, you can't.
Talent
compete.
you learn to have in yeshiva. You could play a full baseball game in 30 minutes, for sure.
What are you talking about? We never played baseball. You played
Basketball, football games. You have full-on games. Doesn't matter the time. 10, 15, 30 minutes. You can play full games. And like you have like 2. Everyone would get possession like once, and they would still be like fights on the way back.
Yeah.
Like there was never a full game.
Because everyone that goes to yeshiva, they're coming from different parts of the world usually, and they all have their own house rules or country rules, and they're all bringing it in.
You're allowed to punch people in the face during tackle football.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone knows that.
And now I can't play tackle football, piece of crap. Freaking, our parents wouldn't let me play. Were you allowed to play tackle football?
No, but I did anyways, and I broke all my body.
Oh, well, there you go. One of our cousins, right? He broke everything or something. One of our cousins broke like his whole ass leg. I think someone's friends almost got paralyzed or something. And
that's something else. That's something else with our cousin.
Regardless,
I don't know if
they
it's
wouldn't let
football.
me play tackle football.
Really? You never played?
I played when I was very young, but not when I was in high school. Hell no.
Nah, I played a little bit. I mean, I played. I played until I dislocated my shoulder. That was the last game I played.
Yeah, and it's fallen out many times ever since. There you go. But we did have an easier time though in yeshiva compared to other people.
Correct.
Because we did high school.
And I think we appreciated it. We
did.
enjoyed it and appreciated what it gave us.
Yes.
It's like thank you, goodbye.
Right. We did our English studies of high school during the day because yeshiva is literally just Jewish classes for like the entire day from when you wake up to literally when you go to bed, essentially, with a couple 1.5 hour breaks.
7:30, 7:40 is the Zionist, which is the first snack, and then class I think is 8 maybe. Like they have like different like smaller things depending on the school, and then we dive into the last prayer 9 p.m.
Yep. So
and you have class. You have an hour and a half break for lunch, and like an hour break for dinner, and 40 minutes for breakfast. But
we would do like the English studies during to get our diploma during the day. So we were able to do that.
You do it during the day because you needed more.
What are we talking about? Okay, listen.
I did at night.
Huh?
I did it at night.
What hours did you get to do online school?
I did it from 6 to 9.
From 6 to 9. From like dinner started at 6?
So, yeah, or 7 to 10. It depends, depends on the schedule.
No, yeah, because for me, it was from lunch to dinner, and I could choose to use, and obviously it's like, you stay and you play sports with everyone and lunch and dinner, and you leave after lunch, come back before dinner, but I obviously, abused the hell out of that and would just use my lunch and dinner for my online stuff and what would eventually be my first YouTube channel. So everything works out at the end of the day. We wouldn't be doing this. You can make fun of it all you want, but this would not be happening if I didn't do that during the day. Yeah.
I appreciate Yeshiva though. I really did. And people get annoyed at me for that when I talk to people. I mean, some do, some don't.
We got the good aspects of it and we got breaks technically, even though we were doing 2 schools at the same time.
People call us, I think people say like, you're unique. Like, you're unique that you liked it. Because
we're both unique.
Even people who are really religious didn't necessarily like it. They complain too. It doesn't. It's like you'd think that just people who are non-religious didn't like it because like it's a very intense system. It's not true. Even religious people, because it had nothing, in my opinion, it had nothing to do with the religious aspect. It had everything to do with rules and following. Like because even religious kids would be like, I don't want to like, I want to do this for longer. I don't want to learn this at this time or whatever. They have their own complaints because they couldn't handle the schedule. So in my opinion, it's always Yeshiva taught you how to be extremely disciplined and how to use your time well.
Also, we got like we went to a very serious one. Also, like
Of course we
we
did, yeah.
like we didn't go to like we went to like the real deal. So
And I also
we still
believe
got a
that
good experience.
there are different schools, different strokes for different folks. There's different schools.
Nice.
And I'm sorry your parents sent you to the most intense one, but don't blame the school for being what they said they're going to do.
That is
like
true.
the school says,
That is
we're going
true.
to do X, Y, and Z. And then they come and say, they're making me do X, Y, and Z. It's like, yeah, because they said they're going to.
The main issue though is that a lot of those kids don't have a choice. Well, not a lot of the kids, but some of those kids are just kind of shoved there, and then they hate it, and it's like, of course he hated it. He didn't want to go there. You know.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
agree.
definitely an issue.
And the main issue is not even the learning, because you know what, the learning is good and it's good, and people enjoy it. And the kids who complain, they used to learn a lot and they loved it. They just didn't like the people in charge because
Yeah.
I'll tell you
'Cause
exactly
they're-
what it is.
yeah.
It's smartphones. It's lack of access to smartphones and stuff like that. It's literally just smartphones. I'm sorry, it's all it is.
Yep.
It's just like they can't have smartphones.
Always
In our
snaking
yeshiva-
phones.
Yep, in our schools you can't have. Basically, you can't. When you're younger, you can have a flip phone, and you can get it once a week to call your parents. Yes, they have landlines you can call every day, but just to have on your person access in the dorms, that's your standard. They don't want you texting people. They want you to be focused on your studies. You could call your parents during the breaks and stuff, but you can't have a cell phone on you.
Which overall, I'm glad I didn't get social media before like 16. I mean, because that is literally rotting. It would have destroyed me. Out of curiosity, though, what was like a very like interesting hiding spot? We didn't have smartphones during like high school. If we did have, it was like during the later years. My school let it though, but yours didn't. I'm curious.
Right. They let it 1 year. They didn't. They
Or
didn't
like
the
they
other
kind of
year.
let it. What was like an interesting hiding spot
Oh,
for like
you
these
wanna
phones?
know, don't
Now I
you?
want to know. I can
Oh,
give you
yeah.
some. I'll start off with because I didn't hide anything, right? I was a good boy. But the first years, I remember seeing old hiding spots of where like the older generations of kids would hide their crappy iPhone 2s or something. And I saw on my bed into like one of the bunk ladders, this guy carved a phone thing inside of it. There's so many holes in mattresses, and behind the washing machines in the buildings. There are mini slots everywhere. People hiding their phones. But what do
Yeah,
you got?
basically, I'll tell you where I had some good spots.
Okay.
People basically they didn't allow smartphones for sure. Smartphones, forget flip phones. They were flip phones like whatever. When you get older, they allow flip phones, just no smartphones.
It's
And
gonna
so
change, by the way. There's too many smartphones. It's
So
too
basically,
much a part of life.
every single person in school has one hidden, and the staff for years were blind to it, and they said no one has it. Only a few kids maybe hide, and we catch them. Every single kid had one, and they're living in denial. And by the way, the fear of getting your phone, which you just paid $300-400 for, taken away, like killed everyone every day because they're so nervous all the time.
Yep. That's why I never did it. It's too
ruined
much.
I'm saying I think that ruined the experience for most people because they're constantly nervous. They're so nervous that they're gonna get caught if they left in the dorm. Because they would at least in my day they would search your rooms.
Yes. It was
with
crazy.
whatever.
Yeah, maybe that part was a little weird.
They stopped that because that's
They did, yeah.
huge invasion of privacy, and they realized that's not cool.
And in public school, you could just like walk. You could be on your phone like during class. Some of these classes I've seen.
I know. I can't
in the
even
middle,
imagine.
with the teacher in front of you, just scrolling on TikTok.
Can't even imagine.
Yep.
But they stopped going through stuff. Only there's certain times where they did when they thought someone had something like actual bad things, whatever, like drugs and stuff. They
Okay.
thought. So then they did, and they knew where it was, and they had to kick the kid out, obviously. But that was
Where'd you hide your
that was
phone?
like
Where'd you hide your phone? Or when
Oh,
did
here, I
people
have
you
my
know
phone.
hide your phone?
I had a few spots depending on the school, depending on the year. First of all, I didn't hide smartphones. I didn't, except for I officially only hit a smartphone for 1 or 2 years. But most of my years I did not. I followed the system. I'm a good kid.
Wow, good boy. Yeah. No, you had a console. right?
Oh, that's it. That's something else.
You had to pay.
That was later, and there was no rules really. I was much older, and I was allowed to.
Okay.
They didn't like check me. He
Okay.
would have been annoyed if he found out.
Get a
But
PS4. Like in later years, just chilling in his.
but he
his
wouldn't have
closet.
taken it wasn't his job. The guy in charge. It wasn't really his job. He was just there to teach us.
No, you're much older. Where'd you at your phone?
Okay. My first year, the first time I gave my phone in, but then I hated the school, so I kept it on me. And then so told me, you actually happen to have a bunk bed which has the best hiding spot in the school.
Oh wow.
And right next to my head, there was a loose tile in the wall, and you pull it, and there was a cavity.
What the hell?
And it had around the tile had the ceiling, like it's like the seal.
Oh wow.
And when you put it on, it looked like sealed tile.
It had like
You take it and you go bloop, and there'd be a hole in the wall.
Oh my god.
And one day I didn't realize this.
Keypad too, you know.
One day I opened it up, and there were other kids' smartphones in it because people knew about it. I didn't even know. And kids are storing smartphones next to my bed. I didn't really care.
You should have charged. You should have.
I should have been like, "Hey, there's a tax. There's a tax for this."
Did you give me the phone tax? You know, you should have done that.
But I happened to be. I kept it because I did not like that school, and I ended up keeping my phone, and I hid it just for 2 weeks, and I was out of there. I just didn't like the school. I kept it because I want to talk to our parents because I was like, I gotta switch schools. So that was one place. Then the next place I kept it was I took a shampoo bottle, emptied it out.
I think I remember this.
I put 2 sponges in it to hold the phone in between the 2 sponges. And I sealed the lid back on the shampoo bottle, and it looked like a shampoo bottle. You couldn't tell the difference. Our father apparently hid a radio. This is back in the day.
This is great.
In a detergent bottle in a plastic bag, and he would dip it into the detergent bottle, and it would float. And then he'd take it out, pull it out, and listen to Bengals and Reds games.
There you go. He's a G.
That was the most. By the way, but that phone that I hid, that contraption I made, I hid like a secondary smartphone if I was. I didn't need a smartphone that year because I had a BlackBerry and I had everything I needed on it, like messaging wise. But I literally just hid it because just for Ubers and literally just that stuff. Like when I need to leave, I didn't go on it.
The duality, like the difference between like for me, because I went to a place that like allowed smartphones and stuff, but only for certain hours. There were kids that snuck their smartphones, but I was just so scared of getting caught that literally I just got to the point where, I mean, I was already doing TikTok by then. I went over to my teacher and I was like, I was very scared. I was like, how do I tell this guy that like I kind of make a living from this? So like, can I maybe have my phone all the time? But I was on time in all my classes. I was good. And he freaking let me do it. And then I eventually convinced him to let me install a computer and get my own room and get Wi-Fi. But that's just a story for another time. That's my own savviness. I don't know how the hell I did that. That's crazy.
The second year that I fully hid my smartphone, that it was my phone, my full smartphone, that I hid it the whole year. The school already, they knew everyone had one. And there's just too many kids to care. But if they saw you on it, they're gonna take it away.
Yeah.
But if they saw you on it, like on a street, like on a few streets down, but because some kids were in-towners, they dormed in town by their parents' house, so I could have my phone at my own house. So like,
right.
I'm just out, going shopping. Then I'm going to my house. Like that's why I have my phone. Like it was too hard to like really like catch people. But I literally kept it in like my winter coat, inner pocket, in my closet. They didn't. I was worried in the other schools would go through my stuff, but they never did at this school, so I just kept it there. Kids would just put it in their pockets because they never asked. You could see the freaking outline, but they would never ask. No, that's it.
No, okay, no, perfect. No, because you were saying before that we've said a bunch of negative things about Yeshiva and that did we already say positive things about?
We said a little bit.
We said some positive. Well, no. We were in the defending role this podcast.
We're supposed to, but we were shitting on the food for a half hour.
But that's deserved, obviously. But we did defend it because we actually had a good experience with it overall. We obviously we made our good experience out of it, right?
Correct.
We didn't have the same schedule.
To me, it's all about mindset. If you go into the system with an attitude, knowing exactly what they're going to do, exactly what they want from you, and understanding what the teachers want from you. They want you to, some of the schools, especially ones I went to, if you showed up on time, they never bothered you.
Yes.
It's always, what happens is these kids would sleep in the first class of the day. They always sleep in. And then you get ragged on all day, like you slept in, and like if you woke up at 7:30, you just did it. You did it. You broke yourself. You woke up 7:30. They would never bother you.
These kids literally had like the ones that complain. They're like the dumbasses that they put no proper like for instance, right? I was savvy about it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a good boy in the beginning. For like the first couple months, I'm gonna be perfect. And because of that, like they were very easy on me if I ever slept in or anything like that. I mean, you just gotta be smart about it. These kids, they're just stupid. They miss everything.
Day one, they're not showing up. They're not showing up day one. They're mad why they're so upset at them. Like, of course, you just showed up the first day. You don't even put on a good face. I was able to take like weekends off, go to our aunt and uncles. I went like jet skiing one time because he allowed me. Well, he didn't allow me to go jet skiing, but he allowed me to take the time off. I literally said, I show up every day. I need a break. Can I have a long weekend off? He said, yep. You show up every day. It's fine. And like, why are you gonna get a long weekend off? Like maybe because I show up and I'm smart. I know how to play the system.
Same argument when I freaking got a computer in my room to work, and they're like, "How the hell you get in?" I'm like, "Because I'm not a dumbass and I go to class on time, and I still went to class on time."
If you go to class on time, this is a secret.
That's all you need.
This is the secret.
This is the secret. All the young Jews watching, listen to this right now.
Go to every class on time. Every single class on time. Just show up. You don't have to learn. You don't have to learn a word.
You can do terrible.
You can fail the test.
I had friends that did terrible. You can fail all the tests. Just go on time and be a good guy for at least 3 months, and then you're good. You're good. Even next year, you're good. That's all you need.
Seriously, once you make a good impression, that's it.
Yeah.
And then they trust you. I remember they would say, like, the guy said, "I don't trust you. I can't trust you. I can't let you go for a long time. I don't trust you." Whatever, and they'd be all, "Oh, you don't trust me." It's like, because you don't listen to a word they say. And of course you hate it. Every single day you woke up wanting a fight with the teachers. Every day you woke up like, I want to fight the teachers every day. And you know what? I'm going to change the system, and I'm going to yell at them, and they're going to listen to me. It's like, no, you're just going to be mad all day, and then eventually you're going to leave, and you're going to blame everyone for your problems. Like, maybe you just wake up.
There were some people that had... Some people may have legitimate reasons for why they don't like it, but, that's our perspective. But, and this is completely different, but I wanted to go through some questions that we were asked by our viewers, because we've been going for a little bit, and that's great,
Sure.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the viewers can ask questions, topics, whatever on my Discord. Make sure to join. The link is in the description. Actually, there is one thing, we could cover another time. Let's see if there's actually anything interesting. There's probably only a few questions this time. What is something... Okay, I'm curious how you're going to answer this. It's a trick question from my perspective.
Okay.
What's something in Judaism that you don't agree with? Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, I have some good ones. Hold on.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I would be like, everything's perfect. What are you talking about? Everything's great. You failed the test, buddy.
Shoot, well, I discuss it sometimes. When as I get older, and like real life kind of like settles in, and there's like things you do in like what was it? Shoot.
Oh, very clear, very specific. Really.
No, it's not. You start. I'll try to remember.
Something in Judaism I don't agree with. I don't like. Well, it's not Judaism. I'm speaking about the Jewish community more. I don't like their damn attitude. They're a bunch of lame people. They're all lame and like nerdy and like whiny. Like, wait, that sounds stereotypical. Maybe it is. Well, maybe because it's a true thing. They're judgmental. That's what I don't like. Pretty much like, not all of them. I'm also judgmental probably. But from my experience with the people that I've dealt with, that's nothing to do with Judaism now. That's this. Actually, I mean, Jews are amazing and we're fun and you should come and be nice to us. And we'll be nice to you. I'm not helping the Jewish community at all right now, Yitz. I need you to save me.
I actually have a really bad one.
Huh?
See, when you ask these questions,
No, this is great. I wanted a juicy question. Is this about it should be more about the religion. Yeah, I was calling out the people. It's really Brooklyn. It's not everyone in Judaism.
Fine, I don't. Okay, what I was about to say is calling out people, not the religion.
Oh, individuals. Yeah, we shouldn't call individuals. Not yet.
Okay, I'll say like this. I'll say leaders of the community. Rabbis make rules that are stricter
Very nice.
than the letter of the law.
Yes.
Because they have an agenda of how they want how they think Judaism should be, and it's not necessarily true. And people disagree with them, but because they're the ones in charge, they make the rules, and especially when it affects people who they have no idea
Standing ovation. Amazing.
what they're going through.
No, that was great.
I'll leave it at that.
Hey, we'll have many episodes to talk about different issues that many leaders, alleged leaders, not real leaders, the fake leaders, you know. But what's your favorite? What? No, say no. What?
Out of touch leaders, I would say. Out of
touch leaders. Oh yeah, because some of these guys freaking they're not current. What's your favorite pastime? You have any hobbies yet?
Favorite pastime?
Yeah. You still play RuneScape? You don't play RuneScape. You can't play RuneScape now.
You're too busy for that.
Yeah.
What's my favorite pastime? Wait,
I like playing Fortnite.
What do I like to do?
We played Fortnite. We played Fortnite a few times.
I know. I wish I could play more. I don't have time.
What, you have like kids or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I do this. This is my free time.
Oh.
I hang out.
This really is, by the way. This is damn. I mean, it really is.
I like playing sports, but I'm not able to really anymore. That's my favorite.
You're happily married, and that's great. You know.
No, it's not even that. It's because there's no real like. In school, you have like the kids your age, like whatever. When you get married, it's like you have to get like a bunch of fat adults who want to play like softball and like whatever.
At their prime, and they hurt their back.
And then like you make your kids run the bases for you because you're too fat and lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not fun anymore.
This guy says, "What's your favorite NBA team?" Well, here's the thing, right? Cincinnati doesn't have a basketball team, so we were really only Reds and Bengals fans.
Cleveland a little bit, but I don't really care so much.
No disrespect. If there's one team that I would have went for, it would be the Sacramento Kings, solely because they used to be because they were from Cincinnati originally. And because they're a team that's mid, and it fits with our teams. Like, they haven't won anything. I don't know if they ever won anything. So, and it's not like a bandwagon if you root for them. So now's the time.
I was definitely following the Cavs during that title run, and I follow them, but I haven't ever. I was not a bandwagon fan. I followed them I followed them for years, but I'm not emotionally invested where it ruins my day or ruins my year. You know, I'm not like that.
We enjoyed the sport, but there's no official team because we never really had one. Is LeBron the GOAT?
I think so.
Nice. Okay, that was my question. No, I just want to know.
No, I think so.
Don't get me. No, you know ball.
No, I'm tired of all the boomers saying. You know, I'm tired of all the boomers talk.
Okay.
Watch LeBron highlights from when he first entered the league. It was absolutely nuts.
Watch LeBron highlights from when he absolutely carried a team with no help to defeat the best team of all time. Yeah. After a 3-1. Yeah. What the hell is this question? Would you convert to Mormonism if Joseph Smith appeared in front of you and told you Mormonism is true?
Who's that? I don't even know.
I think he's the leader. Well, that would be like if Jesus went to me and said, "Hey, become Christian." Like, obviously he's gonna say that. Like, he's the leader of it.
Yeah, I'd be like, "Bro, I don't believe you, bro."
If you teleported in front of me, I mean, I'd be like,
there's a lot of things in Judaism. Well, there's a lot of things in like the stories of the Talmud where false prophets perform miracles, and it doesn't mean that it's the right religion.
We're not saying anything.
I'm not even talking about any major.
You gotta be careful, buddy.
No, I'm talking about actual false prophets.
No, because people use like Jesus in the Talmud to like make up stuff. So.
I'm not talking about Jesus. Actually, I'm talking about other characters who they perform miracles and people would believe them. And
there are many characters that like would perform like tricks and things that were real in Jewish lore and magic and stuff. But if they appeared in front of me, I'd probably be like, "Wow, that's crazy! Like, how do I make money off of this? You know, a guy just appeared in front of me. You know, that's crazy."
You immediately pull your phone like, "Hey, like,
I'm here with Joseph Smith. You know, I'm here with Jesus, and we're gonna see what happens. You know." But that's about all the questions. I had one topic, but we've actually been going for a bit. Our episodes have been getting longer.
I know it's a problem.
No, it's not. It's perfect.
I don't have so much free time.
What are you talking? Okay, listen. No, these are great. The episodes are getting better. Besides you lagging out, that sucks. But appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to download on Spotify. Watch all the other episodes. Join the Discord server. Happy holidays. Happy Shavuos to those who celebrate. Literally, God bless.